but there's not a whole lot to talk about. But we do have a weather impact alert. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins.
And I'm 10 Tampa Bay Meteorologist Colleen Campbell.
And we've got a hatched area, that area where you see the yellow there, we call that a hatched area, right over top of Florida. Now, the low has formed. It's a very weak low. In fact, it looks like it kind of fell apart this afternoon.
Yeah.
It's not organized. It's not named anything. It's not depressed. It's none of that stuff. And like I said, it looks like it fell apart. But also, just recently now, they've updated this hatch area. It used to extend up to here and kind of go out like that.
Yeah, turned it back a bit.
I think they did. And well, clearly they did. But I think it's just going to meander. And so I'm going to show you in the models. Some of the models just kind of meander back off to the west-northwest.
Hello.
Speaking of meandering, there you go.
The GFS, yes. The GFS has it lingering in that area for quite some time.
Yes, and I wouldn't be surprised if it actually, because if it lingers too long, it'll come up and out to the north and the east. So you see all this low-level flow that's right in here. That's all out of the east-northeast. So kind of the ridge to the north is doing that, and that's why we think it might go to the west-northwest. But if it doesn't, and that ridge goes by, then it will kind of go up and out to the east. And I'll show you one of the models that looks like that. But here's the deal. Know that that's there. Know that we are not worried about it, okay? We're not expecting any development out of it. Again, the Hurricane Center says 10%. But visible satellite lets us see that low-level swirl, which is right in here somewhere. And you can also notice there's some wind shear over it like that, because everything, see all the tops? How they're blowing off? All this right here is blowing off to the east-northeast like that. So it's not a good environment for it to develop, even if it wanted to. All right, now, another wave that we are watching that, Colleen, you said they just updated to 50%.
Yeah, bumped it up. I guess that was with the 2 o'clock update, yeah.
And that's it right there, okay? It's just coming off of Africa right now. This is that time of year where we still look out here, but you can see that it's there. But when it goes back here, we will actually see it, I think, this in here is probably Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday is somewhere over here. Thursday's near Puerto Rico. So that's of next week, right? So we've got time to watch this. That's 5-6 days away for this area that's right in here. Right now, most of the modeling suggests that this recurves.
Yeah.
So, but that's like what, 8, 9, 10 days away? So that's a long time when you're talking tropics, so we'll keep an eye on it. So let's look kind of at the big picture here. This is the European model. Here's that weak area of low pressure, very weak, right? Let's go through tomorrow afternoon. This is around 5 o'clock. Here it is, weak, okay? Meanwhile, our focus is how much rain do we get? Because we still have this east to northeast wind, and this low is helping to funnel some of this moisture over. And so that we think that on Saturday, we're going to get a very similar look to the sky and the clouds and the rain chances midday, just like we saw yesterday, just like what we're seeing out there right now. We should do that again on Saturday. Do we have a few more showers than today? Probably. And now let's see what Sunday looks like. This is Sunday afternoon. Now you see how it's got this train of moisture. It's a little bit more towards the north.
Right.
So, I mean, I think we're really close to doing a very similar thing on Sunday. And then as we get into Monday, it's kind of more of the same. But you don't see any low down here, okay?
Yeah, Monday it really looks like it falls apart.
It just fell apart.
It's pretty sloppy.
Yeah, very sloppy. So there's Tuesday. We keep that east to northeast wind for the most part. And Wednesday looks to be the driest day. But the whole showers start on the East Coast and come to the West Coast. That pretty much goes through the next week or so with this easterly wind. Now, this is when we start finding out what's going to happen. This is the 7th, or the Friday at 7 p.m. This is the 10th. This is that area a week from today. Okay, Puerto Rico right there. You see that little hump right there? That is where that low is, at least according to the European. Now let's see what happens. It still thinks it's here, but then it tries to do another low here. And this one goes up and out. See that? That goes up and out. But then here is our tropical system following that one and going up and out. Okay, so look, that's the European model. We'll see. GFS, there's our low in the Bahamas. As Saturday afternoon, there it is over South Florida. You see that? Now it just got wiped out. It was somewhere in here. And then by Sunday, it's kind of gone. Okay, and then we don't really see anything Monday, Tuesday. We still do keep this easterly flow. You see all that?
Yeah. Seems like the GFS definitely wants to pull in more rain to the east and to the north.
A little bit higher numbers as far as that's concerned. You're absolutely right. Wednesday, for both models, does look to be one of the drier days. And we're not talking a lot of rainfall, at least not for us. The East Coast, because the showers will be thicker over there, they'll thin out as they come towards our side of the state. They're going to have some pretty good rainfall totals. All right, now let's go out to Friday. Remember, we had the European was right in here. Friday, the GFS has it right in here. It's not far off, okay? And not really developed much, but that actually probably is a closed low at that point. That could be a depression or a storm a week from tomorrow. All right, right there near Puerto Rico, St. Martin, Anguilla, all those places. Now the GFS, there you go, next weekend into Monday, starts to take it over Puerto Rico and then turn it north. I'm going to back this up because look at this.
That's what I was talking about earlier. It looks like some of the GFS models, and again, this is just 1 or 2 runs, but kind of wants to do a Fujiwara effect a little bit. They have something that's forming just off the east coast there, the southeast coast, closer to the Carolinas, off by 100 miles. And then they have that one that's forming over by Puerto Rico. So interesting when you play it out to about the 12th, 13th, 14th. That's when they kind of start to dance together. Moving away from land, though, so that's good news. I mean, if the GFS wants to bring that into fruition, then I'm fine with that, long as it's not closer to home.
We have, so right now we have a weak low forming right in here.
Yeah.
Okay, and it didn't fell apart.
Right.
The model says in about a week to 9 days or so, we do it again.
Right.
Except it goes out and it does develop. Watch this. See that off the Carolinas? That's what she's talking about. That's the first one. That one just pops up here and moves out. That, by the way, Colleen, is a favored area that we look for development to move out to the north and the east. Meanwhile, here's our tropical system that now has a 50% chance, the one that just came out of Africa. If this were to happen, this would open the door for this thing to come up and go right out behind it. So that's where we are. So you want to take us to our local weather here, Colleen? We'll kind of shift gears a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted to. You made a good point. I wanted to bring up the tropical origins for October. There was actually somebody on my Facebook page, Bobby, that was not a very nice person. They were writing in from Austin. I don't know where they came from, but if you guys could bring up Max 2, we just wanted to briefly go over the tropical origins because this guy was saying, well, you know, you guys have been wrong about the tracks and yada, 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 talk. Well, it's actually not wrong. Look at this. This is usually where we see that activity, these hot spots, if you will, closer to the Caribbean, the Gulf, and then as Bobby was just showing how we have that area low pressure, although it's weak right now, looks like it wants to reform off the southeast coast. And that's very typical for the way that these systems develop, where they're born and where they want to go. When we look at data dating back to 1851 for my friend there in Austin. So this isn't data that we just pulled out of clear blue sky. This is looking at historical tracks where these storms have been born, and it shifts, right, Bobby? So as the season goes on, of course, in June, July, August, we have different hot spots. October, here we are. And this is what I posted in my Facebook page where they wanted to argue. But just know that it's pretty typical for us to see activity ramp up in this part of the area.
Yeah, it's still warm. If you look at that graphic right there, look where the blue is across the southeast.
Yeah.
Imagine a cold front from Virginia down to, let's just say, Austin. All right? So it goes all the way across the southeast over there to central eastern Texas, okay? That's kind of what's happened. It was in the 50s this morning in North Carolina, right? Barely making 80 for a high today. They're all basically in the 70s.
Yeah.
And so what happens is cold fronts in those positions will generally protect the southeast, and anything coming up towards it will get turned and taken out to sea.
Right,
and
which is what we just saw.
Which is what we just saw, and is what actually that right there looks like.
Yeah.
That white line that goes from Cuba through Florida and then off the Carolinas, that is all going up ahead from Florida through the Carolinas. That's all kind of paralleling where the cold front would be over land.
Yes, absolutely.
And so on average, you keep getting these fronts to come down, and so that's why you would end up seeing an average track like that. And then when we get into November, do you have the November one? Is it the same one? No.
I don't have a pulled up.
That's okay. The word Bahamas to the northeast, that second line that you see there, that white line on the right-hand side, there's a small strip that kind of centers on that, and that's it. So we really start to cool that water down and push cold fronts further south. Right now, the cold front's up there across the southeast, and that's why it can still get into Florida and then kind of brush the southeast coast. But once we here in Florida, especially where we are in west central Florida on the peninsula, once we finally start getting those cold fronts down here and we cool off, we get the drier air and it feels like fall finally, well, that front has now come through Tampa and is probably down towards Miami, and it's protecting us just like it's protecting the southeast coast that you see right there. That happens more often by the time we get towards November, and that's why everything shifts to the south and the east towards the end of the season.
Yep.
All right, what do we got? 440.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk local forecasts. We'll talk about those breezes that you've been feeling out there.
I was driving when an 18-wheeler turned in front of me. I locked up my brakes, bam, slid dead into the truck. Bloody and hurt, I was loaded into an ambulance, and that's when I put out my phone and called attorney Dan Newton. Dan jumped right on it. He was in my corner the whole way. He fought the fight from beginning to end and got me $1 million.
Involved in a car accident? Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Dan, your awesome team deserves 6 stars. Thank you for winning my case.
Weather impacts your life every day. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. You can find out about any change in the weather with our 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. Just stream for the latest forecast, any weather impact alert, updated tropics forecast, and take a live look at the radar. Anytime you want, and it's free. It's just one more way we're helping you stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
And it's like a movie script. It's family rivalry, betrayal, and murder.
They cover America's most fascinating true crime stories.
One way or another, that's an execution.
Absolutely.
Every case,
Who would want to hurt him?
every clue,
This is dynamite for an investigator.
every mystery that keeps you guessing until the very end.
Does everyone's jaws drop?
Dateline, 5 times a week.
Watch weekdays at 4 on 10 Tampa Bay.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. You need quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
Don't forget the cookies.
Don't forget those cookies.
All right, let's talk temps right now. So it's been comfortable temperature-wise, but it's a little muggy out there for today. The numbers are generally in the mid-80s, 89 though right now in Tampa. We did get to 90 right now in Sarasota, so there are certainly some warm spots out there. Feels a little bit better just because we have the breeze. But that cooler air is associated with that high pressure to the north.
Yeah, look at that. You can see how the temperatures are so different over by New Jersey, right, basically the spine of Appalachia and moving east of
the
that.
east side. Yeah, it is just as warm. Well, it's warmer right now in South Dakota than it is in Tampa. So, I mean, look at that. 90 degrees in Pierre, 89 in Iowa Falls. That's what we have in Tampa right now. So, and you can see the wind arrows here. You see these lines? That's the warm air going up the center of the country. You see that? So that's that big ridge of high pressure. You get the cool air here. We tend to get some of the drier air mixed in coming across, but it is coming across the water, so our dew points don't drop a whole lot. But in the fall around here, this is where we get our drier air from.
Yeah.
By the time we get cold fronts in November and December, then it's coming in directly from the north. But usually what happens, these high pressures sit over here, they put this dry, cooler air out over here. That flow drags some of it in our direction, but it gets modified over here. So it's not 100% as dry as what it is these areas over the land, okay? So we get tastes of it. All right, but now let's talk dew point. So I use the dew point a lot. For here in Tampa, this is our humidity. We could tell you we could tell you a percentage, but that percentage changes all day. What's the humidity? 78%. That doesn't mean anything.
Right.
If it's 100%, it means it's fog. If it's 10%, it doesn't mean anything. What you need to know is if let me show, where's the numbers? If it's in the 60s, it's a little bit more comfortable. When it gets in the 70s, you start to feel more uncomfortable, right? So we've kind of done this graph here. So upper 60s, this time of year we call it a nice break. But then it gets muggy when you're in the 70s, and then you get in the upper 70s and above, and that's air you can wear. That's real mugginess. That's our summertime stuff.
Yeah, walk outside feels like a sauna.
Yeah, exactly right. And so those numbers, bottom line is, those numbers are coming up as we work our way through the end of the weekend, especially Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, okay? Now, let's talk rain, because we do have some showers out there, and you can see they're pushing from, again, east-northeast to west-southwest. They're tending to start to fall apart, okay? Let me find this. That little dot, that's killing me. There you go, right there. I can turn that off.
Looks like it's getting an update.
We get what's called bad data. And it's just something that comes from the satellite, and we can get rid of that. All right, so these showers will fall apart. But do you see how we get the heating of the day, we keep this easterly breeze, and we get this batch of showers to drift quickly across the area? That's what we did yesterday. Obviously, that's what we're doing right now. That's what we will do both Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so don't cancel plans, because the best timing for these showers will be during the middle part of the day. But even if it's raining right now, even if you've got Johnny's birthday right there, all right, and you got the shower coming, there's going to be a break, and some of that's going to fall apart. All right, but just keep that in mind, especially anywhere from about 2 p.m. through about 5 p.m., there will be a chance for some rain out there. That chance gets lower once we get past 5 p.m., so you can still see some of the showers that are left over here. And they've been really kind of paralleling I-4 lately.
Yeah.
Coming right down.
And they're moving so fast because of that breezy wind, which is nice. They don't really have time to sit and dwell on top of an area. Bobby, I had on Max 2, Futurecast kind of widened out, but we can go with this too, because I wanted to show everybody, so how that area low pressure that we've been watching, although it's weak, that's going to kind of become our steering pattern as we move into the next few days. So right now we have that high pressure that's up to the north that's been controlling our winds, giving us breezier conditions last night and yesterday. I felt great. On my way home from work, I had my windows open. It was just wonderful. But here's that low. Pay attention to that, because we're going to come back to that. Winds will still be breezy as we move into tonight, but they will start to taper down as we move into the weekend. This is moving into tonight around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. By 10 p.m., we're much drier. We have the showers that are moving from east to west with this pattern. So those along the Gulf Coast, you will see the rain to finish off the day. And then moving into tomorrow, as Bobby was saying, we're in a very similar pattern. We're pretty dry throughout the morning, but then as we move into the afternoon, that's when we will see basically a copycat forecast of what we have for today. Winds are a little bit more easterly, but you get the idea. We will still have those showers spring up and move across our area from east to west. Now, here comes that area low pressure making its appearance, but I think this needs to be updated just a bit, because as we were showing you, the latest model showing this low just kind of lingering a little bit longer, and depending on where that low pressure is placed, it will bring better rain coverage. You see it up to the north there, the northern end of the state, and especially the East Coast, because we have that moisture that's wrapping around that low. So,
and that's kind of the question mark, right? I mean, if that low gets there, it may put more moisture to the north and dry us out a little bit on Sunday, but it may bring some more. So we're just kind of waiting on and see what Sunday's going to look like.
Yeah. So when we come back, we can talk about our weather impact alert if you would like. I think we have a commercial coming up.
Weather impacts your life every day. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. You can find out about any change in the weather with our 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. Just stream for the latest forecast, any weather impact alert, updated tropics forecast, and take a live look at the radar. Anytime you want, and it's free. It's just one more way we're helping you stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
With players just like you.
Paramedic, retired teacher, psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories.
We have a giant killer.
And heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy.
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30, right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
I was driving when an 18-wheeler turned in front of me. I locked up my brakes, bam, slid dead into the truck. Bloody and hurt, I was loaded into an ambulance, and that's when I put out my phone and called attorney Dan Newton. Dan jumped right on it. He was in my corner the whole way. He fought the fight from beginning to end and got me $1 million.
Involved in a car accident? Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Dan, your awesome team deserves 6 stars. Thank you for winning my case.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Secure outdoor equipment and generators. Clear debris from around your AC unit and schedule a pre-storm HVAC and electrical inspection.
Those are some great tips, and Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40-TODAY.
We can go to Rainfall. Okay. All right, we were just talking about what we're going to talk about with you guys. So we have a weather impact alert today and also tomorrow. Now, this is not always for severe weather. We are expecting an increase of rainfall, not only today, but tomorrow as well. Comparing it to the last 2 days, it's been dry, right? So we still have some dry times out there at this time. The weather impact alert goes until 7 o'clock. We just showed you Futurecast how things will be wrapping up as we move past the 7 o'clock hour. Tomorrow we do it all over again. It's not necessarily a severe weather threat. However, we're returning to that rainy pattern. It will be breezy at times. Again, this is not dangerous weather. It's just a nuisance weather and an inconvenience to your weekend, right? Especially if you're expecting the drier conditions that we have seen.
But it's not a rain out. I got to convince my wife it is not going to rain. Well, we'll just have to plan indoor stuff. I'm like, no. No, we will have some showers pushing by. We're fortunate that it's breezy because those showers won't last long in any one place.
Right. Do you want to talk about the rain? We had that on Weather One.
Yeah, let's show you, because over on the East Coast, they will get more rain because of the way that it's blowing in. These are rainfall totals. In fact, let me stretch this out here. Let's go out through, I guess it's only going to go out through Friday. But what you're seeing is right there along the immediate coast, on the East Coast, where the showers are a little bit heavier, they're a little bit more numerous, there's more of them. Then as they work their way towards our coast, they kind of thin out a little bit, right? They have the chance for showers during the day, especially overnight and during the morning hours. That's a better chance for them. And then during the afternoon, they tend to pop up more over the land and get over towards our neck of the woods, okay? Right. But then tonight, it'll come back to them, and so they'll have a little bit better chance for rain. So we're not seeing a whole lot of rain, at least nothing that like we could see, right? Now, winds. We will keep the breezes with us. They come down a little bit at night. This is this afternoon, and we've had gusts in the mid-20s today. Then tonight, gusts in the teens, but about 10-mile-per-hour winds. Usually that wind goes calm. Okay, so that's not the case. We will keep a little bit of a breeze. Tomorrow we do it again. Gusts in the upper 20s. We'll have winds 10 to 15, 10 to 20 sustained. Watch the bridges, especially the Skyway. We have small craft advisories all the way through Sunday. Yeah. This is, what is this, Sunday afternoon right now. Now, Sunday's not as breezy, but certainly we do have some extra breezes out there. Here's that forecast for today, and you can see it's going to look a lot like this for tomorrow. Northeast winds 20 to 25 knots. Look at that mouth of the bay. I mean, the wind direction's coming this way. It's just that's why you get a lot of wind at Skyway, northern end of AMI.
Yeah, very choppy.
Yeah.
Those cameras Sarah had this morning were shaking.